So, in this video, I'm going to talk about scatterplots in Python, matplotlib.pyplot, right? So I've got my import here, and we're going to make a plot. So we're going to say plt dot, and we're going to use the argument scatter, right? And we're going to need an x and a y, and we'll probably want a label. We'll call it, I don't know, scatter dots, something like that, right? And we're probably going to need an x and a y. So, I don't know, we'll call our x, we'll just call it x. We'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we'll say. For the y, we'll do, I don't know, just random values, I guess. 7, 9, 2, 6, 3. There we go. So I've got some random values for the y and, 1 to 6 for the x. I'll make a little label. What should we label it? Actually, X label I want there. X label, I'll just label that X. Easy does it. plt.y label. Call that Y. Not 2, we'll call it Y. We don't want it to be 2. What should we title it? We'll title it scatter, right? Because it is a scatter plot. So we'll call it scatter. And then we'll add our legend to it. So we'll say plt.legend. I've already got the legend. S, we'll just call it S. And plt.show. So if you don't know what scatter chart is, you're about to find out. Put it that simply. And here we go. So if we look at our plots here, because this is a bigger plot, I want to show you the bigger plot really. Got a Y, we've got our X, we've got a scatter. And basically a scatter plot is just a plot that instead of having, a big line, it just has a dot at the value, right? So you can see this first value, you got 1 to the 5, you got the 2 to the 7 there. You just get a dot instead of, a little value. Now you're probably looking at this thinking, these dots are nice. I wish I could, maybe have a different type of dot, maybe a star or like a triangle or something. Well, there's actually a way to do that. And let me just copy and paste all this. So here we can actually add an argument called marker. And what marker will allow you to do is add not a custom marker, there's actually predetermined markers, but it allows you to change what icon this is. So instead of just having a regular circle, you can have stars, for example. So I'll show you an example of that here. You can see these are all little stars instead of being circles. You might not see it that well, I'm not entirely sure. And if I copy and paste this again, I just change the marker to, I think P, I can't remember what P is, but I know P is one of the arguments. If I just put that in there, these are kind of like, I've forgotten the name, but they're similar to stars. Pentagons, I think. They give you five, I don't know, a 5-sided polygon. I think that it is a pentagon. So yeah, you can change this marker argument here to basically mark the scatter plot differently, Although the only thing is the marker argument only takes certain arguments. There's only certain things you can add as arguments. You can check the documentation of Matplotlib pyplot to see what markers this will give you. There's 2 more cool things you can do. I think you can add color, but I know you can add size differences. So let's say, actually, I'm going to copy and paste this. I want to have stars. I want to show you these stars in magnificent glory, right? So you can actually make much larger sort of plots, right? Much larger marker sizes, sorry. And we just use the argument S. And we choose a size, and S will basically change the size of these markers. We're going to have, star markers as I showed before. You're going to see now that I've made them to 100, they should be absolutely. You can see quite a bit bigger there. You can see the difference, I think the default is 10 or somewhere near 10. I'm not entirely sure, but we can make these really, really big if we want to. I can have some gigantic stars. In fact, we'll do that, shall we? We'll make some pretty big stars. There might be an upper limit, actually. I'm not entirely sure, but let's just see. Let's see what happens when we put 400 in there. Just to kind of really show the difference. See that? Those are very big stars, very big stars. So there's the default, there's 100, and there's 400. So this S argument will give us whatever size we want. Now, I'm not sure why you'd want these massive stars, but if you want them, the feature's there in order to allow you to make these kind of changes. Now, one more thing I think we can do with these scatter plots, because they're quite good, you know, if you don't want to see these lines everywhere or bar plots or whatever, you just want on the point to see the points. They're quite good for that. But you might have, say, I don't know, several scatter plots in one, or you might have like two different items that you put in on the scatter plot. So you might have like, I don't know, a scatter plot that shows the sort of pay dependent on age for two groups, might be men or women. So you'd expect one group to be one place and then another. Hopefully, with equality now, we'd see that all at parity. But you don't know, you might have some variance there and you might want to change the color to kind of adapt to that. So I think you can actually add a color argument. I'm going to try it though. I'm not entirely sure if you can, but I'm going to just try it. Yeah, there you go. We've got a color argument. You can see we've got red stars. That's really about it. I just thought I'd show you those scatter plots to help you out. Thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed.